There's something massive wrapped around us. You can't see it, you can't feel it, but it's there, and it might stretch over 1,000 light years wide. In 21, astronomers discovered that two enormous arcs in the sky, once thought to be unrelated, may actually be part of a single magnetic tunnel, and we might be living inside it. This isn't science fiction. It's real data from telescopes like LOFAR and GALFACTS, confirmed by the magnetic fingerprints we see in radio waves. The scientist who discovered it called it a magnetic structure surrounding our solar system. If this is true, it means we've been surrounded by an interstellar tunnel for millions of years, and we're only just realizing it now. Welcome to Dominion Hour. Let's uncover the structure that may change how we see our place in the galaxy. So, what exactly is this tunnel, and how can something so enormous hide in plain sight? It's made of magnetic filaments, thin, charged threads of energy stretching across space. You can't see them with your eyes, but in radio waves they glow like neon veins across the sky. For decades, scientists thought these arcs were separate features. But when astronomer Dr. Jennifer West looked closer, she noticed a strange pattern. Two massive structures, the North Polar Spur and the Fan region, curved perfectly toward each other. She built a simulation based on real data. The shape? A tunnel, not around a distant star, around us. If she's right, we've been living inside a magnetic structure that spans thousands of light years. And until now, we didn't even know it existed. This changes everything. Upon closer analysis, scientists realized the tunnel wasn't just a magnetic arc. It stretched for hundreds of light years, a structure so vast that it extended beyond what we typically define as our galactic neighborhood. It hovered above the Milky Way's plane, like a vast ribbon of magnetism twisting across interstellar space. Some theorists speculated it could be connected to ancient cosmic structures, relics from the early universe that somehow survived. And then, just as scientists debated the tunnel's origin, they detected a strange pulse of radio energy coming from the same direction. It wasn't a random burst. It repeated, timed, structured, as if it were encoded. Was this pulse coming from the tunnel itself, or from beyond it, from beyond what we call the observable universe? What if the signal wasn't just random noise? What if it was a message, encoded in radio waves that traveled billions of years, only to arrive now? As scientists traced the pulse's path, they realized it aligned perfectly with the magnetic tunnel's arc. That raised a chilling possibility. The tunnel wasn't just a structure. It could be a conduit, a natural amplifier, designed by the universe itself to carry signals across space. No stars, no galaxies, just an open corridor of magnetism and a burst of data rippling through it. Some researchers proposed it was a fast radio burst, but its structure was unlike anything catalogued. Repeating, geometric, even binary-like. Could this be the first sign of something intelligent? A signal from beyond the observable edge, or something trying to reach us from within the tunnel itself? Either way, we weren't just looking out anymore. Something was reaching in. The moment the signal was confirmed, debates erupted across the scientific world. Was this truly a fast radio burst? Or had we just intercepted something far stranger? Radio telescopes across Earth were recalibrated to lock onto the signal's direction. LOFAR, CHIME, even archived data from Arecibo all pointed to the same location, the curve of the magnetic tunnel. And then something else happened. The signal repeated. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Each pulse came exactly 18.2 hours apart, too precise to be natural, but too faint to decode. Inside the radio spectrum, researchers noticed faint sub-frequencies, echoing like harmonic tones. That's when the whispers began. Was this a natural phenomenon amplified by the tunnel? or an intentional signal using the tunnel to reach us. Whatever it was, Earth had officially detected a repeating signal from a magnetic structure we only discovered recently, and we had no idea who or what sent it. As global observatories tracked the repeating pulse, a new layer of complexity emerged. The signal wasn't just repeating, it was evolving. Each burst grew slightly shorter, then slightly longer, as if compressing and stretching time. Inside the waveform, AI-driven software began detecting something eerie. Symmetry, not just in length, but in frequency shape. It resembled a signature. Some theorists proposed that this was more than a message. It could be a test, a cosmic handshake, a way to gauge whether anyone out there was listening and capable of understanding patterns across light years. More than 12 signals had been recorded by now. No background source was ever detected. No galaxy, no star cluster, just space and the tunnel. The tunnel, once thought to be a passive structure, was now behaving like something active, like a pathway, or worse, a transmitter. It was time to investigate the tunnel itself. Scientists reanalyzed decades of data from the North Polar Spur and Fan region, the arcs forming the tunnel's walls. New radio polarization maps revealed something they had missed before. The magnetic fields weren't static. They were oscillating, subtle changes in direction, pulsing gently like the breathing of some giant unseen organism. No natural magnetic structure behaves this way, not without a massive external force. But the tunnel had no source, no neutron star, no black hole, just empty space. And yet the signal kept pulsing. 12 bursts became 16, then 20. Each arrived with increasing symmetry, as if the signal was tuning itself or calibrating to us. Was the tunnel amplifying it, reacting to it, or was it part of it? The deeper we looked, the more the tunnel seemed less like a structure and more like a device. As Signal 24 arrived, everything changed. This burst was unlike the rest. It came with a trailing pulse, a second wave, fainter, but filled with micro-patterns. Within hours, AI analysis revealed something chilling. The wave wasn't random, it was structured, layered, and then partially decoded. Embedded in the waveform was a recurring ratio, 1.618, the golden ratio. Not a signature of nature, but of intelligence. Mathematicians call it the fingerprint of design, a ratio found in galaxies, seashells, even DNA. But in this signal, it appeared modulated, repeated across time as if it were a key. Had someone, or something, encoded a message using mathematics as a universal language? The tunnel's magnetism surged slightly in response. Instruments recorded a micro-jump in field strength. Just for a moment, but enough to raise a terrifying idea. Was the tunnel not just carrying the signal, but listening? With each new pulse, the signal evolved. By Signal 31, harmonic patterns had emerged. Not just repetition, but rhythm. Researchers found spacing between bursts mimicked the Fibonacci sequence. Not perfectly, but close enough to suggest intentional design. At the same time, radio observatories in Chile and South Africa detected brief fluctuations in background noise, as if the tunnel was momentarily redirecting radio energy. The signal's strength had also increased, slightly but measurably, as if it knew we were listening. At this point, a new theory emerged. What if the tunnel wasn't built for us to receive signals, but to broadcast them? What if it's a galactic beacon, a two-way channel left by something ancient? A transmitter waiting for the right listener, the right frequency, the right moment to respond? And what if, by decoding the pattern, Earth had already replied? The idea that Earth had responded, even unintentionally, sent shockwaves through the scientific community. But it didn't stop there. Just days after Signal 31, seismometers in Greenland, Antarctica, and Hawaii recorded a strange low-frequency vibration. It wasn't geological, it wasn't atmospheric. It matched the rhythm of the pulse. The vibration had no known source. It came from above. Some dismissed it as coincidence. Others weren't so sure. The tunnel's magnetic field surged again, this time visibly disrupting satellite signals for 3.2 seconds. It was enough to trigger an internal review at NASA. Meanwhile, AI models continued analyzing the sub-patterns. They now detected symmetry not just in timing, but in shape. Waveforms that resembled known mathematical spirals. This wasn't noise. This wasn't chance. Something, or someone, had sent a structured, rhythmic, mathematically encoded signal, and the tunnel was now pulsing in sync. By now, the pattern was undeniable. The tunnel wasn't just reacting, it was synchronizing. Its field oscillations matched the timing of the pulses almost perfectly, and that's when scientists realized the pulses had changed direction. New data showed the signal was no longer aimed toward Earth, but moving away, as if Earth was no longer the receiver, but the transmitter. This triggered an urgent meeting between researchers at NASA, SETI, and the European Space Agency. The question was simple and terrifying. Had we just replied to something we didn't understand? And if so, who was listening on the other side? Mathematicians found another symbol hidden in the waveform, a mirrored spiral known as the logarithmic curl. It's not common in nature, but it is common in radio antennas. This wasn't just a message, it was a handshake protocol, and Earth had just shaken back. After Earth's signal shifted, the tunnel went silent. For 72 hours, not a single pulse was received. Telescopes stayed locked on its coordinates. AI ran simulations in loops. The pattern had stopped. Then, on the fourth day, a new signal arrived. But this one was different. It was shorter, stronger, and carried a burst of high-frequency spikes never seen before. It was as if the tunnel had responded. The signal's waveform looked like a compression code, a format used in Earth technology to store massive amounts of data. What was inside it? No one could say. The waveform was layered, encrypted, multi-dimensional. Decoding it would take weeks, maybe years, but one thing was clear. This was not the same signal we had been studying. Whatever was on the other side of the tunnel, it had noticed us, and now it was sending something back. The compressed signal forced researchers to rethink everything. It wasn't just stronger. It was multidimensional. Instead of a single waveform, it contained overlapping frequencies stacked like pages in a book. Signal analysts at SETI described it as a data cube, information layered across time, pitch, and rhythm. What was it trying to send? Hidden deep in the signal's layers, AI discovered a fractal, the Mandelbrot set, a mathematical object used in earth science to describe infinity. It was encoded in rhythm, not image. No natural phenomenon could have created this. That left only one explanation. Someone, or something, had sent it. The tunnel wasn't just a transmitter. It was a conduit for complex information, a channel across space. And if this was just the beginning of the data packet, what else was coming? And were we supposed to understand it, or just receive it? The discovery of the fractal changed everything. It wasn't just proof of intelligence. It was communication through complexity. The tunnel wasn't a passive structure. It was responding, aligning, reacting. Earth's position shifted slightly as the solar system continued its orbit, and with it, the tunnel's magnetic field reoriented, subtly but precisely. New data showed a redirection in the signal's origin. It was no longer coming from one end of the tunnel, but from both. A dual pulse, echoing inward, one directed from beyond the observable universe, the other from within our own galactic sphere. What did that mean? Two origins, one tunnel, a conduit between cosmic domains. The idea shattered previous models. This wasn't just a relic or an artifact. It could be a bridge, a magnetic corridor between unknown civilizations. And we had tuned in to both ends at once. We had always believed that the observable universe was our limit, the cosmic horizon beyond which we couldn't see, couldn't measure, couldn't reach. But now, through a magnetic tunnel stretching thousands of light years, Earth had made contact. The signal wasn't random. It wasn't interference. It was patterned, layered, intelligent. And as the pulses echoed from two ends of the cosmos, humanity stood at the edge of something vast and unknown. A bridge between galaxies, or a doorway between civilizations. The final question wasn't about the tunnel. It was about us. What do we do now that someone, or something, knows we're here? This is Dominion Hour. If this discovery shook your view of the universe, share this video, subscribe, and comment your biggest question. Because next, we go deeper. And what we've uncovered so far may only be the beginning.